We're going live in five, four, three, two, and we back, and we back, and we back, and we back, and we back. Yeah, and we back, and we back. Oh God. Okay. What is going on? Your face is completely. Oh, there we go. We back. Yes. Woo, your face was frozen for a minute. I got scared, y'all. Woo! Your face was frozen. It's because I minimized something I shouldn't have. All praise be to God. We here. We alive.
Stop
We
touching
blessed.
stuff. Stop
We
touching
we
stuff.
blessed. This my shit. I can touch what I want. Thinking Out Loud podcast. It's your boy J Lip. You know what this is. You know who I am. TOLPcast.com is where you can go to get all that you need, that you want, and some extra shit. So, with the extra shit, we got to dive straight into it. So, my guest this evening is none other than, let me point, Mrs. LIP. Mrs. LIP in the building.
Hey,
Yes, ma'am. You ready to get into the shits?
I'm ready. Let's get right into it.
All right, because we got 20 minutes, and I'm sorry, y'all. This is going to be a short one, but your boy had a little fuck up, so we just going to have to keep it moving. We're going to do what we
Just
do.
little technical
It's
difficulties.
just a
We're all
little
good.
tech. Yeah, got to pay the internet bill. You got to pay it on time. It's not like the old school Sprint bill where you can be 30 days late and then pay on the last day. Used to love them days. Another horn for that. Now, back to 2018. I want to talk to you about a couple things, okay? First and
hmm
foremost, I want to talk to you about how do you feel about a lot of the grace that we're being asked, and when I say we, I mean people that look like us, people with a little melanin, a little melanated nation. How do you feel about the fact that people are starting to have the question of should we give 45, aka Cheeto, aka the celebrity apprentice in chief and staff, should we give him grace? Should we give him props? Should we give him credit for the fact that he not only freed Alice Johnson, well, he didn't free her, she wasn't no slave, but he pardoned her so that she could be released from prison for serving an extended period of incarceration based off a non-violent drug offense. And he's touting that he was the first president to ever unite the United States and North Korea when it comes to these peace talks. As far as denuclearization, don't even know if that's really a word, but that's what he says, so I'm going to say it. How do you feel about Trump after getting this information over the weekend?
I guess
Go.
the part that's most challenging to me is he's had ample time to prove that he's not a bad guy, and over and over and over again, he has proven that he kind of is a bad guy. I think his cleanup crew came in and was like, "Hey, Kim Kardashian thinks this is a good idea. You got PR, she got PR. Let's do this thing. Like it ain't hurting nobody. So let's let this lady out of jail." I think it was something that was done strategic. It does not feel like something that was genuinely done out of an issue that he's interested in. Maybe it's something that Kim is interested in. I was listening to, a couple of the interviews where she kind of talked about her role in it. And it does sound like it was a bit of a passion project on her end. It's something that she continues to try to do. I don't know her well enough, even just following her social media to be like, yeah, this is genuine or not. So I don't know.
Who,
I don't know
who,
about
who
her.
on this
But
podcast knows Kim enough to have an opinion to say whether she was right or wrong? Well,
who
to have the
knows?
fact, but
Apparently, a lot of people like her. I don't know, but she's not my cup of tea. And from what I've seen already, I have enough celebrities that I'm interested in, and I don't need to
why
be
Why
concerned.
why do you hate on the Armenian queen? Why do you hate on Mrs. West?
Uh, okay. She is Mrs. West. Armenian Queen? No, not. Anyways, that is not even the point. That's not what we're talking about.
Okay,
As
you're right.
far as our president and, being given some grace because he let one black person out of prison because of a, overblown drug charge, like, you got a long ways to go before I'm going to feel any differently about you. You let out one person, but for that one person, there's thousands, probably tens of thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands of people in prison who shouldn't be there anymore. And if you're going to make that issue a topic that is going to be addressed by this country, you're going to need to do a little bit more than, turn on the tap for a little drip, drip. Like you got to,
Ooh,
gonna
get
do
him.
it or don't do it.
Yeah, it's basically like, are you going to address prison reform or not?
Right, exactly. And I don't get the impression that he is. I don't get the impression that he is, and that's why it doesn't feel genuine to me. It is not like, I'm grateful that this woman is out of prison, that she's going to be with her family and everything like that. But if this was going to be a bigger issue, like, he doesn't have any problem speaking what is actually on his mind and his heart, and I haven't heard anything further about it from him. So I don't expect that this will be an ongoing thing, and it'll probably tide us over for like a couple months until he does something stupid again.
All right, so basically what you're saying is this was not really a passion project, but more so a PR stunt.
Absolutely. I
Okay.
100% in my heart believe that this was a PR stunt. He has been through the ringer with all the idiotic things that he's done, not even just recently, just over the course of his presidency. And I mean, he's already shown blatant disrespect for Black people. So I can't possibly believe that this is something that was actually important to him. He probably just like, okay, just give me the paper, I'll sign it. Let's take a picture. I gotta go.
Damn. All right. Shit. Say how you feel. Let them know.
I feel
I gotta say that I agree with you. We can't really have a further discussion or debate rather because I believe it's bullshit as well. I believe that he's keeping in mind that there's a strong effort for the Republican Party to maintain control of the House and the Senate, and when he does things like this, it's kind of like where he can come out and say, "Oh, and we've
well,
talked
I
about
did
this
this.
offline. Yeah, oh yeah, the blacks they love me. You know, the blacks they I freed one of their blacks, and I let the black woman out, and like come on, my
And
nigga, like,
he'll probably forget her name. He's probably already forgotten her name.
and
He'll
let's
never
remember
say
her,
her name again in his life.
and let's remember her name is Alice Johnson. Alice
Right.
Johnson, prayers up to you and kind of transcending back into this American life that I'm sure you have been taken away from for so long. But we glad you home. She's a grandmother. And again, nonviolent drug offenses. We should be looking at how to change the entire system and not
Right.
pick a token, which I hate the term in this instance, but
Yeah.
to pick a token and say, you're going to be the one that I'm going to put my pedestal and put my trophy on top of the back of Alice Johnson. So
Yeah.
prayers up to her and her family for her recovery back into this American life. We got to keep it moving. I want to also address with you the fact that Trump has been touting that he brought America and North Korea back together. He was the first person in 73 years or whatever it was. I just threw a number out there to do it. And he also throws a little shade at Obama, unfortunately, which we give him a boo for that. He throws shade and says that no other president has been able to do what I'm doing. I'm meeting with him and he's gonna denuclearize and we like each other. I like him. He likes me. We will be happy together. Like fuck
It's gonna be a
you.
great talk. It's gonna be so
Exactly.
great. It's gonna be
So how do
great.
you feel about the fact that Trump, 45, Cheeto, whatever you want to call him, how do you feel about the fact that this nigga done said that he is responsible for uniting nations by himself and no other president has been able to do so? How do you feel?
Um, I think Trump has a lot of ego, and I feel like he's almost like seeking out things to do, to say, I'm the first one that did this, nobody else did this. Not to say it wasn't important to be united with Korea and all of that. I mean, it's super duper important. Now, my thing
Get to the
is,
shits. That's what I'm talking about. Let me get these horns ready. And shout
my
out,
thing
shout out to Rob D and Tia in the building. Go ahead, get to the shits. Let's go. Go
So
bomb
my thing
already.
is, as far as like what I've seen so far, and I've been, keeping an eye on it as best I can, because there hasn't been a ton of information about what's coming out of these talks, if they're even happening yet. But all I've seen so far is he went there, they took some pictures, and I saw I saw a meme that was of the picture that they took, and they said it was like when you get to the end of picking for basketball teams or something, and it was him standing next to Kim Jong-un. And I'm like, you guys both look ridiculous. Like, you really don't want to be here. Like, you kind of don't belong here. But whatever,
Not,
regardless.
not at
So he
all.
showed up. And they gave him like a surprise birthday cake because it was
I'm
his
sorry.
birthday or
I'm
whatever.
sorry, my nigga. You said they gave him a surprise birthday cake. The
Birthday cake.
president of the leader of the free world
Yes.
gave
They gave him a surprise birthday cake.
him a surprise birthday cake. Keep going.
No, somebody gave Trump a surprise birthday cake because it was
Oh,
his
they gave.
birthday.
So who gave who? So it was Trump's birthday. They gave him a
Yeah.
surprise birthday
Somebody in
cake.
Korea gave Trump a birthday cake. Okay. I don't know the specifics. Probably
Okay.
somebody. like
Oh shit!
secretary or
All
something.
right,
I don't know.
fuck it,
But
horse.
regardless, like that's what he's accomplished so far. And it's not to say that, that's nothing. No other president has gone before. But until something is actually resolved, until something is completed, until something is more than just, photo ops, I'm not going to put a whole lot of stock in it. I'm not going to be like, well, maybe he's not so bad of a president because he got on a plane and like didn't get blown up out of the sky. Like I don't know. I don't get the gravity of what's been accomplished so far. I think there is potential,
Oh, it's a
but
lot of this. It's a lot of that talk, talk, talk.
yeah,
It's a lot of that, and it's all wordplay. It's no action. And when
right.
somebody says repeatedly, "We had a good talk. It was very productive. We like each other. We love
It's
each
like, what
other.
did you
The
say
cake
though?
was
What did you say? What
delicious."
have you accomplished? How are things going to be different? How, like, what is happening with like, their nuclear program?
Right.
What are you doing? What are you actually doing besides eating cake and taking terrible photos? Like, I can do that. My birthday's coming up. Like,
Oh, it is your birthday coming up.
it is. Like, I don't know.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Well, now you
Congratulations.
know.
How old are you gonna be?
Follow me. Follow me on Facebook. You'll know when my birthday is.
Okay. I don't follow you. I unfollowed you a couple years ago, but go ahead
Sure.
though. Anyway,
All I'm
anybody
saying
checking for
is,
you?
all I'm saying is, I'm gonna need to see some receipts. I'm gonna need to see something more than
Okay.
than bad photos and birthday cake. That's
Oh,
all.
all right. Well, I appreciate that feedback. Shout out again to the big homie, my IT brethren, Rob D. Said it could be me. Check OBS, bro. Video laggy. Bro, video ain't laggy, baby. We gravy over here. We paid the Wi Fi. The old video shit, that shit is done with, bro. We good. We smooth. We Gucci. And now we transitioning into the next topic. Now, this one is a little bit close to home for me, or rather, it hits close to home for me because mental health and mental illness is a serious, serious issue. This past weekend, we lost two who I would consider to be just celebrities at a high level. Kate Spade, she was a designer, that's all I know. But she killed herself by hanging. That's crazy to me. That's mad wild. Okay, so she 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 decided to tie a noose around her neck and hang herself because of what has been shared by her sister to have been a long-standing issue with depression. And then you have Anthony Bourdain, who I am a fan of, and Parts Unknown is one of the shows that my wife and I we watch, and we enjoy him
No
and his energy.
reservations and
Right,
yeah.
all of that stuff. So I wanted to ask you, how do we feel about this whole wave of suicides that are getting more so popularized slash embraced by the Hollywood community? When I say popularized, I mean the fact that this isn't the first one, but I feel like it's not going to be the last one. When it happens back to back like this, we gotta have a conversation and say what's going on with these folks. One, and then two, why is it that we garner a lot of attention because of their celebrity, but we know that there's people every day living with mental illness, living with depression, that go through it within even our community, but we don't address it in the same manner. So I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Well, I have a lot of thoughts on this. For one, we're always sensitive to celebrities who are on drugs or, dealing with mental health issues, even when they have kids or get married or whatever. The whole term celebrity is somebody who's gained notoriety basically by doing their job or just living their life. So we become attached to these people. And of course, with the advent of social media, we're basically following people on their daily lives. So we become quite attached to these people that we've never met before. But in some respects, we idolize or at least respect, what they're doing out in the world.
Right,
Kate
right.
Spade is an amazing designer. She's been around for an insanely long amount of time. I own one of her bags. I can't imagine. I think just having a Kate Spade bag in your collection, I think it's probably similar to like in the 90s and 2000s having a Coach purse. Like it's a thing. So she was a huge deal to people in the fashion industry and other designers. Anthony Bourdain was like on one of the first waves of the whole celebrity chef era. And, we got attached to kind of this bad boy image and this kind of, non-celebrity celebrity chef. So we've developed personas around these people. And when they're no longer here, and especially ripped away by something like suicide, I mean, our ears perk up. And even if I haven't watched an episode of No Reservations in probably 2 years, but I was like shocked into just complete quiet for probably a good 10 minutes after I received that news. I was completely
Wait,
shut down.
one thing you said
Um,
that I have a question about is you said taken away by suicide. Do you believe that suicide is an individual decision, selfish decision, a decision made out of pure just self-induced issues, or do you feel like suicide is something that people do because they feel like it's their only option to escape their pain in this life?
I really couldn't say because I've never had a conversation with somebody who has even attempted suicide to the degree of like really asking why did you do that and why
Well,
what were
that's
you doing.
the sad part to me is, I don't mean to interrupt you, but the sad part to me is this: we'll never be able to have the conversation about
Yeah,
somebody who attempted
never know.
suicide. More than likely, because if they're successful, they're gone. And
Right.
I've known people. I knew a guy, rest in peace, Chris Stodger from Michigan State. I knew a guy who killed himself because he had an issue with the relationship, and that relationship
Mhm.
ended and put him in a depression, and he ended his life. And that was a good dude to me. We worked together, went to school together, and it was like, damn, like when I found out about him, like, what could have been done to prevent this? And it brings me back to the same question about school shootings and things of that nature, where they're really out of our control. What
Right.
can or should we be doing to help influence the cultures that are all dealing with this? Because it's not just Hollywood. I get a little bit pissed when we dedicate an hour long news special to these celebrities, but then at the same time, they kind of earn that spot as far as being a focal point in
They've
society.
contributed a lot to
Yeah,
our culture,
yeah, yeah. So
and
I'm
there are
saying,
people who have the influence to create those kinds of specials for them.
right, and so I'm feeling like, okay, well, I'm thinking about every young, person of color, every young black kid or young black
Yeah.
woman, black man who's, there was another female that we went to school with. I won't say her name at this time, but there was another young lady who was found dead in her car in a parking lot at like a major supermarket because she was going through depression. And again, it's like people come out after the fact and they say, I thought something was up, because they were kind of, taken away from their normal vibe and blah blah blah. But it's like, when do we feel comfortable enough to jump in and say, hey, bro, sis, what's going on? Because you're not really in your rhythm. Like, when do we feel
Right.
like it's okay? And I think it's a stigma in our culture that we feel like, oh, that's none of my business, or they doing their thing, and I'll reach out to them when I get a chance. But by the time you get a chance, it's at the funeral. So what do you think
Sure.
about that?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's all of our responsibilities. If we've got anybody that we love, or even just a strong acquaintance that we have access to, we have to look out for each other, across racial lines completely, because you might have somebody within your sphere of influence who doesn't look like you, who doesn't come from where you come from, who doesn't have the same experiences, but you're emotionally intelligent enough to know that something is off with them, and you have the same responsibility to them to be like, "Hey man, like, are you okay? Like, do you need somebody to talk to? Call me anytime, slip them the suicide prevention hotline." Like, it's all of our responsibility. And I think, unfortunately, it's the psychology of our culture to kind of pass the buck and say, well, that's something that their significant other should talk to them about, or their parents should talk to them about, or, a teacher or a counselor or whatever. And, just the
That's a
attention and
great point.
focus, the attention and the focus, like even just saying to somebody like, are you okay, like I'm noticing something's off with you, that could be just enough to spark what is needed to keep that person from taking their life. Because the old adage is when people attempt suicide, it's often a cry for help. They're asking for someone to say what's wrong with you. So I mean,
And
it's all
unfortunately,
of our
and
responsibility.
unfortunately, in our culture, we translate that to be, oh, you're attention seeking. Oh, you don't have no issues that you really need to be dealing with like that. So I'm not going to feed into that negative energy of blah blah blah. But like you said, it's something that we need to change as far as the culture is concerned. Now,
Unfortunately, we only have the one life, and you can't come back and be like,
amen,
I'm just playing, or
amen.
I just wanted my crush to notice me, or something ridiculous like that. Like, no, you
No, it's
you
never,
have to
it's
you
never
have to
that
look
tedious.
out
No,
for your own.
you're absolutely right. With time running out, I want to kind of jump into what I'm going to have as the prelude to the next episode next Tuesday. I want to jump into this real quick. Superfly. Do
Yeah.
you have any interest in seeing that movie? It drops tomorrow.
It looks like hella cheesy, yo. Like,
Mm,
it looks
okay.
so.
So it looks hella
But I
cheesy.
mean, it's understandable that it looks cheesy. It's a remake of, a very iconic black exploitation movie. Like, I totally get it. They're probably trying to play off of some of those vibes, but just even the movie itself doesn't like it don't look good to
And
me.
we're gonna have to define black exploitation next week. However, for right now, to kind of end this and kind of close it out and kind of still leave it open ended, where do you stand as far as the responsibility that a lot of quote unquote, and I say quote with big ass fingers that say quote unquote, how do you feel about the responsibility that pro blacks put on the black community to support any and all media that is produced or made or created or even just displayed by people of
Yeah.
color? There's a huge emphasis on, oh, it's a black movie, go support it, and if you don't,
Right.
they're not gonna make no more black movies. Go see 12 Years
No,
a
that's not true.
Slave, even though we've been watching 12 years of slavery movies. Go see, you know, go see, what was it, Black Proud Mary, whatever the Taraji
Yeah.
P. Henson garbage.
Yeah.
Go see the Tupac movie Trash. Go
Oh
see this shit
my
because
god.
it's
So bad.
necessary so that we can continue to have a place in Hollywood. I want to get your final thought on that, and we're gonna close it out. What do you think about your responsibility as a strong black woman? Are you going to see black films indiscriminately based off the fact that you're black?
No,
Okay, that's
no.
all I need to
Because
know.
you
With
can't
that,
pay
nope,
me to
nope,
watch a media movie.
nope. No, we're gonna strike that last statement from the record. You just said nope. We're gonna go into it next episode. But for right now, baby gotta get ready for her IG live, which is gonna be about what?
It's gonna be about Instagram hashtag
And they can
strategies.
find you where?
At TL Yarncrafts on Instagram.
At TL Yarncrafts on Instagram. Holla at your boy at yMKaoD on
Oh,
Instagram.
really quick,
Go
really
ahead,
quick.
get it in. Hold
Congrats
on.
on 75. Congrats on 75
75.
episodes.
Ooh, I feel like a rock star. Y'all know this instrumental is rock star. Ooh, boy. Boy, hold on. All right. With that being said, I appreciate you. Thinking Out Loud Podcast, TOLPcast.com. It's your boy J Lip, my wife, Mrs. Lip in the building. Mrs. Lip, turning it over to you. Love you, girl. Thank you for joining. We
Love
here
you, babe.
every Tuesday, 6 p.m., and we get into the shits. This is what we do. This is who we are. This is who I am. This is who she is. And this is Thinking Out Loud. Have a great evening. Give me a kiss. Left
Mwah.
side. Oh, hold on. Let me get my face over there. Okay, go ahead. Hold on, hold on.
Gotta go.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Hold on. Let me hit the stop button. Hold on. Cancel.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. Here you go. Sorry.
Oh
Sorry.
god.
Sorry. Stop, y'all. Stop. Stop.